It's a word we use every single day, probably without a second thought. But have you ever really stopped to put the word when under a microscope? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. Just think about it for a second. When did you first learn the word when? It was probably one of the very first questions you ever learned to ask, right? It's so fundamental that we almost never stop to think about what it's actually doing for us. All right, let's dive in. We're going to totally break down this simple four-letter word to see all the different jobs it has in the English language. And trust me, you might be surprised at just how versatile it really is. Okay, first up, the one we all know, the most obvious one. We use when as a question word. Its main job, its number one gig, is to ask about time, to get a fix on a specific moment. For example, when does the film start? Simple, right? Or when is your birthday? It's a direct request for information about time, something we do countless times a day without even noticing. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. When isn't just for asking questions. It can also act as a connector, a conjunction. In the second use, it links two things that are happening at the exact same time. It's all about what's happening, well, when something else is happening. And this example, it absolutely nails it. She phoned me when I was in the bath. The phone call and the bath are happening at the same time. When is that powerful little word that stitches those two parallel actions together into one clean sentence. Okay, let's build on that. The third use of when also connects two events, but this time it's not about happening at the same time. It's all about sequence. It tells you that one thing happens right after another. So the crucial thing to see here is the order of events. When I get up, I always drink a cup of coffee. What happens first? You get up, and what happens second? You drink coffee. When sets up that routine, that clear one after the other flow. So it's not just about what when means, but also how we say it. And there's this subtle but really fascinating difference in pronunciation, especially if you compare British and American English. In the UK, you'll often hear a little puff of air, a breathy H sound at the beginning, when, kind of like when. In the US, it's usually a simpler when, though you'll still find some speakers who use that classic huh sound. It's a tiny detail, I know, but it's all part of the rich texture of the language. Okay, so we've looked at its uses, we've listened to how it sounds, but why? Why have we spent all this time digging into a single, simple word like when? What is it that makes it so special? The answer is because when is part of an incredibly exclusive club. It is officially on the Basic English 850 list. The 850-word club. I mean, that sounds pretty important, right? So what in the world is this list, and why does it matter so much that our little word when made the cut? This number, this is the key. Just 850, that's it. That is the total number of words that were picked out as being absolutely essential for basic communication in English. So the Basic English 850, or BE 850 for short, is basically a curated list of words that gives you the functional core of the English language. The idea is that with just these words, you can explain almost any idea. It's like a starter kit for English. So being on this list means when isn't just some common word. It's a cornerstone. It's considered absolutely vital for fundamental communication. It joins other heavy hitters like what and where as one of the most powerful tools in the entire language. You could say it's one of the basic building blocks of understanding itself. And all of this, it brings us to the big takeaway from our little exploration today. It's a powerful reminder about where the real strength of a language actually comes from. Here's the lesson. Real, effective communication isn't about using the biggest, most complicated words you can find. It's about mastering the small, powerful foundational words, words just like when, to express even the most complex ideas with incredible clarity. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. If you were limited to only those 850 essential words, the very core of the language, what could you explain? What big, amazing ideas could you build with just those simple tools?